And Kory, you went to OTAs yesterday for the Detroit Lions in Allen Park. And,
I'm welcome there. Black guys aren't welcome to the weddings.
Oh, you're mad you didn't get an invite?
Yeah, that's cool.
Oh, you hear that, Adam?
It's cool. But yeah, I went to OTAs yesterday.
Okay.
And I'm mad. I didn't get my T.I. entrance music yesterday.
Oh, so that was just kind of a
no.
They
Had some music come on yesterday. But,
every time we touch.
No, but took down a couple of notes yesterday. First off, it was a different vibe. Everybody, last week was more so like it felt like a celebration, like a party. Like, oh man, it felt like Club Allen Park or something going on out there. But
AP. Yesterday
was the vibe for me. It was more about having fun, being energetic, but it was really about energy yesterday. It was an energy filled OTA. Had the music going, but the thing that I noticed about was everybody was being really talkative. You saw Dan Campbell be with the quarterbacks, the running backs, and the wide receivers a lot. I saw him hovering over there a lot, getting down the stances, being very vocal with Jared Goff and Jamal Williams. Actually, I saw Dan Campbell, Anthony Lynn, and Deuce Staley, all three of them over there kind of being with Goff and Jamal Williams, kind of being really vocal about things that they wanted to see out of them. Let me see what else
one thing I saw that people were reporting on too is that like Deuce Staley wasn't just concentrating on the offense. Like Alex Anzalone, is that how you say his last name? That we just got from the Saints. He got beat on a pass route by DeAndre Swift out of the backfield, and Staley got in the defender's ass. And so it's good to see these coaches like crossing streams, and it's just one cohesive unit. Not this is my lane. I can't coach this guy up.
Yeah, Deuce Staley, you heard him. I tried to get as close as I could to kind of hear some of the audible, what he was saying, but Deuce Staley was out there very vocal. Another thing I saw was Jared Goff, and that's a guy who I was really looking at in the 7-on-7s and what he was doing. He threw a couple of pretty balls. Some of them I was just like, ooh, okay. I was dropping in the chat like, oh, Jared Goff is out there slinging, and then like soon as the next play, he threw one right in the dirt.
Yeah, no, you were texting us. You're like, Jared Goff looking good.
Yeah, then the minute
I text that, he throws one in the dirt.
Yeah, he got a couple of balls where he just placed them where only the receiver could get them, and I'm just like, okay, that looks really, really promising. And the guy that just really stole the show for me yesterday was Jamal Williams. Through those drills, through the 7-on-7s, you just saw him out there just taking it seriously. And every time he made a good play, it felt like he was getting his Hulk Hogan on. Like he was just, doing that little finger wag. And he did it. And I'm like, okay, that was kind of funny the first time. But every time he did something right, you saw the finger wag and he started doing the whole Rob Van Dam whole effing show thing. So
love it.
He was a character out there, but. Okay, look, I don't know how to say this. I mean, I know players are really serious when they're practicing, but you remember when Penei Sewell was, all smiles and everything when he was getting in the introductory press conference?
You saw his game face?
He walked right past me after, they were starting to wrap it up. The lineman left the field first as they were wrapping up the OTAs. The dude was checked out. He was locked in. That I have never seen. I'm like, damn, he looks pissed as fuck.
Yeah, love it.
That wasn't the same guy I saw in the press conference. That guy looked violent.
I love that.
Like
man.
that was just like, I ain't scared of nobody. But I'm just saying that at that moment, I'm like, yeah, I don't even want to say what up to him. I was gonna say what up though to him. I'm like, you know what?
Please don't kill me, sir. Please don't hurt me.
I was like, you know what, man? You trying to get to the back? You go ahead and go. I'm gonna let you ride, because if he plays with the intensity that he had on his face, Jared Goff is going to have some great protection.
Well, you were able to catch up with some of the coaches during the press conferences and Jamal Williams during the press conferences. So we have some of those videos. Why don't you walk us through like kind of the first one and throw it to that?
Well, let's go to the first one. I want to show when Dan Campbell was talking about. I believe I said the clip about Dan Campbell talking about Todd Gurley. Yep. And about that whole situation, about where they stand on that.
All right, let's watch that right now. Dan Campbell on Todd Gurley.
Todd Gurley in last week. What's the latest with him there?
Yeah, look, we have interest in Todd. We do, and we're talking with he and his agent, and we do. We have interest in him, but I would say this: just because we have interest in him, that does not affect our feeling and our thoughts on both Swift and Jamal. It does not.
With Todd, is that a situation that would play out here in the coming weeks, or some vets just come in the start of training camp? Is that something that maybe waits until the summer?
Yeah, no, I think if we can do it sooner than later, we'd like to. But look, we're not,
right.
It's not like we're going to set a deadline on it, if you will, Dave. I mean, that's,
Yeah.
We have interest in the guy. But that's kind of where it is right now.
From everything I read, that's pretty much a done deal. Like, I actually saw reports saying, hey, the Lions are signing him, but, if it ain't Kory Woods telling me it, I don't believe it. So
I will say I did get the vibe that it's pretty much a done deal, I believe, between Dan Campbell and Anthony Lynn. They both talked about – no, Dan Campbell and Anthony Lynn and Deuce Staley, they all pretty much just talked about having the leadership of a Todd Gurley and a Jamal Williams. I kept hearing that both – over and over. Like, Jamal Williams was a guy that's been singled out in a good way over the past couple of weeks. So it's seeming like, they're looking to bring in Gurley to combine that leadership aspect with Jamal Williams, and I could see that happening.
Yeah, we need a power back.
Yeah.
I mean, let's just be honest. Like, we got two guys that can come out of the backfield, catch the ball, that they can juke in space, but we don't have that guy that I want to hand the ball to. I need an inch. Who am I going to give it to? Todd Gurley would be my option.
And also, too, here people have to realize this. First off, Todd Gurley is only 26. Yes, he's had a lot of injuries, but he doesn't have to come to the Lions and be Todd Gurley, Pro Bowler that he was with the Rams. He just has to come in there and spell DeAndre Swift and Jamal Williams at times. Maybe be a goal line back, third and 1, 3rd and 2 type of guy. That's what they need from him. They need that type of guy, and I would love that out of them. They need that running back community, and also too, you brought in Jared Goff. There might be some plays that Jared Goff might feel more comfortable running with the Todd Gurley as opposed to a Jamal Williams or a DeAndre Swift. Not to say that he's going to be the featured back, but just for certain instances, it's good to have a guy, two guys that are familiar with each other.
Just imagine we get like 1,000 yards out of him on the ground.
No.
And then you got Swift. I mean, it's not impossible for him to do that.
No, I mean, with the offensive line on the trajectory to be a top 5 offensive line, you saw it last year in Indy with Jonathan Taylor and, what they did with Marlon Mack. Like, Marlon Mack's not a great running back by any stretch of the imagination, but he put up 1,000 2 years ago because of that offensive line. You were able to ask some questions to Jamal Williams, speaking of running backs, right?
Yeah, I didn't send that one over because that was more so of a music question.
Okay.
I sent over the ones that I thought were actually the more interesting because I was just really fascinated with the focus on Jamal Williams yesterday throughout the pregame pre OTA pressers. And there's another one from Dan Campbell that I want to get on this. That's about Jared Goff. If Alex would go ahead and get to that one.
Yeah, let's watch this.
Excuse me. Hey, Dan. I know that it's not very competitive right now and, no pads or anything, but I'm just curious what you've been able to ascertain with Jared Goff and where he's at right now.
Yeah, look, I don't want to get too far on this right now, but I'll tell you what, yesterday was impressive. He made some throws yesterday that were just, my gosh, they were outstanding. Pinpoint, accurate throws. He was good on his read. I felt like he had one bad throw yesterday, and it was really more he was late on the throw. But I want to say he made about 5 throws that were just, wow, okay, that's really good. Really good. Just pinpoint, back shoulder, guy running up on a wheel, and it's back shoulder right on the ear, or up the seam, or out route to Hawkinson, threw it right by the defender where only he could get it. And he looks like he didn't look that way. He does. He's got a lot of confidence right now. And I think he's getting a good grasp of the offense. And it was impressive. It really was. So we're pretty happy right now. And there again, we're only 4 in and we're not in team. So, but the 7-on-7 reps, pretty impressive.
Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Love that he's impressed by him. Like you said, he was making some pinpoint throws, and I believe it was you tweeting out yesterday that he was putting the ball in the spot that nobody else could catch it but the receiver. And we like to call that throwing the wide receiver open.
Yeah. And
Wow.
the last clip
Thanks
I want to
for
get
that.
into was my favorite one of the entire day, and it was Jamal Williams was asked about his relationship with Aaron Rodgers, and he spoke about it. But when they was asking if he talked to him lately, this to me just sealed the whole day for me.
I love Jamal.
Have you talked to him lately? Do you have any sense of how this might end up playing out?
Nah, I'm focused on this Detroit Lions, baby. I ain't doing nothing else. I'm worried about getting us right. You know what I mean? Everybody got their lives to worry about. And my people is here. So I got to take care of my people right now. Make sure that we straight so we can go and get to where we need to get to. So that's all.
I fall in love with that guy every time he talks. Like him and Dan Campbell are just,
Yes.
they steal my heart every time they open their mouths.
Man crushes, like all of them.
Like, who gives a bleep about Aaron Rodgers right now? This is about the Detroit Lions.
Baby.
You'll
love it.
never hear me say Detroit Lions again on this show. It's always going to be Detroit Lions, baby.
Baby. Jamal Williams, an absolute beast. And Kory, from what you've been reporting, like, he's a leader on that field. When he steps between those lines, like, he's vocal. People respond to him. His energy is contagious. Like, he may get that C on his chest at some point.
The way it's looking, the way that Deuce Staley glowingly talked about him before the OTA started, about how he's always asking questions, paying attention in the classroom. He's displaying that leadership ability. It's kind of backing up everything that Anthony Lynn was talking about, several weeks ago, where we were all like, wait a minute, DeAndre Swift's not going to be the number one back. You're starting to see why they're saying, talking so glowingly about Jamal Williams. And just seeing him out there yesterday on the field during the OTAs, his energy was electric, and I think everybody picked up off of that yesterday.
Yeah, it's great to see that energy still being contagious and a part of Lions OTAs. Any other videos you want to get to?
No, there is no other videos I want to get to, but man, did national media screw the pooch on Dan Campbell wearing the racing helmet to the OTA opener.
And one person specifically.
Yeah, if you didn't see this picture, Dan Campbell showed up to the press conference like this yesterday because he got named the Grand Marshal of the Grand Prix, which is taking place June 11th and 12th on Belle Isle. We will be there doing some social media and good stuff like that, so thank you to the Grand Prix for allowing us to be there. But Dan Campbell, this is the Motor City. It's the Grand Prix. Dude's coming out here, excited to be the Grand Marshal. And the national media, once again, just like the kneecaps comment, just doesn't understand what we feed off here in Detroit. And Kory, Joy from the Colin Cowherd Show made a comment. You responded to her on Twitter, just trying to point out that, hey, you missed so much context in why he was doing it. He didn't just do it to show up and be a clown. Like, this is something that he's embracing the culture of this city at one of our biggest events that was gone for a while. And when it came back, it was a big deal. And how did that go, Kory?
Well, first off, I want to say this. All the media were all sitting together of who was allowed to be there yesterday. And I'm able to see pretty much everybody's face as we sat down waiting on the Zoom call. Everybody had like a little smile or a chuckle when they saw him wear the helmet. Nobody was just like, "Oh my God, this clown." Everybody like it was just like, "Oh my God." It was kind of like this is funny, this is cool,
Right?
And after that, all right, cool. We got into the serious football talk. It's easy to take a small clip without addressing the total context of it and try to diss this guy. He embraced Detroit. He embraced the culture. He wore it, thanked everybody, and then took it off and got right to business. What's the problem? Detroit has had the super serious coach, the Patriot way, the past 3 years, and it did nothing. Why not allow a guy to come in here? God forbid Dan Campbell. You know what? Dan Campbell committed a cardinal sin yesterday. He had personality. You're not supposed to have personality if you're an NFL head coach, according to FS1. So
yeah. Well, to me, like, honestly, we can even go back further because as much as I loved Caldwell, he was not a personality, man. He was about as dry as you can get. And then before him, dry. Like, Schwartz was probably the only one with fire, but Schwartz had fire, but he didn't have, like, humor. He didn't have, like, looseness. It was always just militant-ass shit. We haven't had a coach that can actually joke around and lighten the room and get his players to relax in my lifetime, honestly.
And
I
you
can't
see it,
Mooch,
though.
maybe. Mooch would have some fun in practice, maybe. But
you see this translate with the players, too.
Right.
It's not just this guy's a tool. No, he has that respect from his players, so he's able to do things like this.
And here's the thing about it. You clip the part of where you talk about his kneecaps. You clip the part where you see him in the helmet, but you don't show the parts where the players who have met him, the players who are now being coached under him, are talking about how they love his energy, how they love his direction, how they love that the coaching staff that he's assembled around them is teaching them the game in ways that they never talked about before. They're not going to talk about that aspect of it. They're going to talk about this 30 seconds of a 15-minute press conference where he did a thank you, and now they're going to criticize the guy off of that.
Well, she caught all the smoke on Twitter yesterday because after you tweeted, people just started piling on Joy. And, our very own Nick Leach here at Woodward Sports tweeted her too, and she responded to him, and then she blocked him.
Oh, I didn't get blocked.
Oh, yeah. She got in her feelings yesterday because
hold on, let me see if I'm blocked.
Even like Rachel Sports, the girl that you see on our TikTok and does some YouTube videos for us, she got on her ass. Like, I tweeted at her. Like, it was just a pile-on fest on Joy yesterday. And that's the way it should be, That's why the term Detroit versus everybody, I saw someone tweet this.
Yes.
Like, no other city can make that claim because no other city is attacked like we are for no reason at all. And what Dan Campbell is doing, he's setting a new culture. And I know me and you kind of went back and forth like, hey, Rob Sims said we were a nasty, mean culture back in the day, and that's true, and that's the only time we really saw success. So I want that back, man. I want it back.
Yeah, that's what they was like. If there is no Detroit way, yeah, there is a Detroit way. Maybe not a Detroit Lions way, but there's definitely a Detroit way. Detroit way is being the Detroit versus everybody mentality, having a tough, blue collar, gritty city, playing hard nose. All of our team, all of the Detroit professional sports team that have won, they've all had that same type of mentality. Badasses. I mean, I guess you could say the Red Wings did it with a little bit of finesse, but you got a guy like D-Mac, badass.
Yeah, you got the enforcer.
So it's like we had enforcers with the finesse.
We're the lunch pail and hard hat.
Yeah.
Like that's what's always worked for us to hear. Going to work, Pistons. That was their damn slogan. We're putting on the boots and we're going to work. Bad boys. That was their title because they were badasses. Like, bless these boys. The '84 Tigers team. They were grinders. Like the grind line for the Red Wings. They were grinders. So yeah, that is our identity. When Detroit sports teams do well is when we are gritty, we are nasty, and we punch people in the mouth. We're never going to be a finesse city.
Never.
Ever. And I don't ever want to be a finesse city. Like, I want to be known as the city that will punch you in the mouth. That every time you play us, it's going to be a dog fight. You know that it's going to be you versus us, and it's not going to end well for you. That's what I want the mentality to be. And just the general national consensus of Detroit. Like, all right, like, you don't want to play these guys. Just period. It's going to hurt.
And you know what the thing about it is? The players are taking on that mentality. And that's what I love to see. You don't hear anybody. Well, right now we're still in the honeymoon phase, so it's gonna. We'll see what happens when the product actually gets on the field in meaningful games. But for right now, remember when Matt Patricia came in, guys were not buying in immediately. They were rebuffing him off day one.
That idiot was making him practice outside for indoor games. What do you want?
Why are you practicing in freaking cold ass Michigan weather and you're in a dome game? Well, that was the height of stupidity. But
abusing that authority. That's it.
That's all it was. It was trying to establish dominance. He was trying to piss all over the team.
And now you have guys who are buying in, having fun. Hopefully it translates to wins. But again, yesterday was another Wasn't the same type of feel-good moment at the OTAs, but nonetheless, it was still a feel-good moment. And you saw, like, okay, last week we were loosening, we're a little bit loose, getting around each other, getting more comfortable. Now we're kind of buckling down, still having fun, but raising the level of intensity.
Right. Well, I'm glad you've been getting out to OTAs. It's been fun to get this kind of behind-the-curtain view and, really getting the vibe from you because – like, when you're just reading articles and stuff, I don't really know. But you're sending videos to us, like you're texting us, letting us know the vibe, how people are responding, what they're looking like. And it's just been really good, especially because this new genre of Lions football that's here right now, it's all new. It's all new to everybody.
And I'm going to have more next week because next week they're going to have us out there from 3 days, 8th through the 10th.
Nice.
So
beautiful.
that's going to be interesting to see what comes from that.
And thank you to the Lions for all the hospitality and treating Kory so well because, if you start treating Kory bad, we coming for kneecaps too. We don't play.